Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a painting video. I do a painting video every week. I try to have it up every Monday. For my regulars here, guys, have a love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so what am I painting this video? Well, I was going to paint this bad boy, whose arm's just come off again. Oh my goodness me. That's the problem I have. His arm's not staying on there for some reason. But I was going to paint him. Yeah. But yesterday I had to finish off building the kinetic spider and then edit that video and all messing around there, so I didn't get time to start doing any work on him. Nor did his arms come off again. So I decided I should paint these guys. Now, what are these guys going to say? These guys are from D&D. They're two wizards. I bought them for the game that I'm working on, but just, you know, they're already primed. They come primed. They come in these mad round bases. They come with these mad round bases, which are these ones. Yeah, very thin, very flat. So because the game I'm working on, they're going to be on squares. I put them on a square base. You can't see it at the moment because it's all black, but so I painted it black at the bottom. I got some basing, the dungeon tiles, but they GW basing kit something or other. So I had 2 packs of those. So gave them both one of those each, and now it's going to be on to colours. Let me show you the wet palette first, actually. So the wet palette consists of vegetable armour, Rhinox hide. This is what brown is that? That is Mournfang Brown. Okay, Corax white, Baneblade brown. What's this one? Oh, that's Gothica brown, Baneblade brown, something like that. That's Ruckat flesh, corn red, mook green, because I have an idea of that. Now that's the Trollslayer orange, and that's the Phoenix yellow, but I don't know if I'm going to use those 2 colours yet. And there is Lophern blue. Now, I do have in the background, I have some of this paint. This is for the stonework on the base, followed by some of this one, and then the dry brush with that, but I can't do that yet because the base is still wet. I also have this contrast plate, which I'm going to go for first of all. I have some Rackland flesh shade for the skin. I have some skeleton horde, but I don't know if I'm going to use that. That's just sitting there. I have some Agrax, a frozen camo shade again, sitting there. I don't know if I'm going to use it. And I have some Lead Belcher airbrush version again. It's sitting there. I don't know if I'm going to use it because I'm not too sure about these guys. They're a bit absolutely smaller scale than what I'm used to working on. But anyway, we're going to go start with the contrast paint. I'm going to go with his cloak. Look at all those rivets on the cloak. Hopefully the contrast paint really just pops off on that. And here we have this. Yeah, still waiting for the contrast paint to dry. The contrast paint didn't want to stay on it for some reason. It kept trying to just pull away. And see, look, just see around the edge there. It's just not wanting to stay. It's not a big issue. I'm actually going to go with Skeleton Horde now, contrast paint. And I'm going to go for his t-shirt. His t-shirt dirty, washed down. See what I'm saying? Let me move this light out of the way. Stop zooming in on him. I've put it on this, sort of just trying to group together in a weird way, but I don't know. See, look at where I missed. I'm not used to doing this scale, so I've got all blue in the wrong places. That's not a big issue though. Let's go to this lad. So he's got his arms and stuff exposed because he's got a big massive beard in the way. Some people are going to give out to me, oh John, just paid 40k, or oh. I did want to paint that hero, but time got away from me yesterday, so I couldn't do any work on him. And as you just saw when I picked him up, his claw arm came up again. It's annoying me. I think that skeleton would look amazing, this guy's hair, to be honest with you. Let's see. Looks like when it's done. I'll leave that for a couple of minutes to dry and decide what colour I'm going with next. I'm going to go with some Rhinox hide and get his boots done. We might actually need two thin coats of this on it because it's not seems to be just acting weird. I don't know. Doesn't seem to want to stay where it's meant to be staying. I'll leave it to dry for a minute and I'll come back and give it another coat, see what the story is. Right, so as you can see, I went over their boots, but you see look at the top of the legs there, just it looks a little bit weird. The paint doesn't seem to want to stick to it properly. It goes on and then it starts to dry, but then there's bits that it missed. Look at the back of his foot there, his left foot. Just get on the camera there. Just totally around, see it. It's a little bit, a few bits there it's missed, but it's not too bad. I think it's the Xenophil Prime. Now, when I got the models, they already come Xenophil primed, and the reason I got them is I love that effect. Absolutely fantastic. So for the game that I'm making, the wizard just casting spells on, you know, there's just, and the other dude has the swirl around him. It's absolutely fantastic. So now I'm going to go with the Mournfang Brown. It's the first time I'm using this colour, and I'm going to paint his trousers. I don't know what way this colour dries or anything like that, but I've seen it used as you come in the Imperial magazine, and in the Imperial magazine I think they're using it to do leather. So I'm just going to get his trousers done and do the other guy's trousers. So to give their bases, the stonework, their bases a quick once over with this dark grey. Now you can already see their base starting to pop. Just from being pure black to having a bit of grey on it. That's the other guy's base. So let me show you the difference. There's the base not done. There's the base done that grey. Yeah, so it does really stand out. Now I'm going to go with some rack arc flesh, is that what it's called? Just get the skin done. Goodness, it's not coming out too well, isn't it? So I'm saying it's not coming out too well at all. Maybe it doesn't matter, maybe once I give it a wash down it'll be fine. The thing is the xenophil that they've put on it, just don't know. It's not me making excuses, I just honestly don't know. Starting to take it out. This is the fun part, the face. Try and get as much of the face as possible because I don't know, I am not going to be able to get those eyes on there. Now bear in mind this is the camera you're looking at, I think it's like zoomed in times 1.5 or something, so you can see up close and personal. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to get those eyes. Now this dude has a sash across his waist. I'm going to go with corn red on that, just to break up the browns a little bit. And you're going to change brush to the smaller brush. Now this guy has fur on the front of him, so I'm going to go with some, is that plain bay brown? Or is that bestial brown? I think this, no, Gothica brown this is, sorry. And I paint the fur Gothica brown. Tell you what, hats off to you guys that paint these D&D models for fun, because they are so small. I suppose you're used to painting them, but for me it's just like, wow, it's so tiny. Hope I'm doing it some sort of justice, because I am struggling here with these. And I get into that little gap in there between the cloak and the fur. It's a bit difficult. I know someone's going to comment and say to me, John, don't worry, you know, you've zoomed right in, so any mistake you make we can see. So when you're looking at them on the table, you don't see those mistakes. And I do understand that. I appreciate it, guys. I just, for me, I feel that it's easier and better for you guys if you zoomed in so you can see what I'm doing. I mean, it's such an amazing model, though. It is. Just the scale on it is so small. It's one thing as well. Look on this arm here. See the mold line? I can't clean them off. I couldn't clean them off because, one, I don't know how strong the model is for stuff like that, and two, the whole thing's primed white, so you can't see none of that until you started in paint to it. Which is a pity, but that's the way it is, unfortunately. So it looks good though. It looks absolutely amazing. That's just contrast colour. So I need to dry for a minute and decide what I'm going to do next on them. Right, I'm going back to this dude. I'm going to go some Corax white. His hair is going to get it once over. I just don't know what to do, what colours to do their hair. Again, this guy has got a cast line over the top of his head. It doesn't really, it's not really that noticeable, but I just, where I can add the paint so I can see it. Corax white hasn't really done anything to this, so the colour still looks, and no. When I wash it down it might look good, or dry brush it down it might look good. Like this guy, he's got locks of hair. I'm going to go with the same Corax white. Let's give it a general once over. Right, so I'm going to go with this Parisian grey. Zoom in on it. Yeah, just to do the bases. This is going to be a sort of a dry sort of brush. Just across the stonework. Just want to try and catch the top areas. Same on this dude. It's hard for it the camera to zoom in. I've noticed it keeps catching the magic effect and just focusing on that, making it all blurry. I do apologise. Almost at the point where I'm going to start washing and dry brushing, so looking good. Right, I've got the Trollslayer orange. I've watered it right down because I wanted to make it really translucent on this. Might need a couple of coats, but I don't want it to take. I want the paint to take on it, but I want it to be really translucent like that. Yeah, so it just really stands out even more. That's why I watered it down even more on the wet palettes, so it's like a wash almost. Sorry, I'm doing it on camera. I'll leave that to dry. I'll probably need another coat. I do this guy the same. Now this trial slow is a layer paint, so it will dull itself down. So hopefully the second coat then will just bring it up really well. The second coat might not even be washed down, like watered down. It might just be like a normal sort of coat, just to bring it up. That looks amazing. Right, I'm going to go with some Racklin Flesh Shade, and we're going to go for the hands and arms and face and all that sort of stuff. Give the hair once over actually. Gives a nice. The other dude. This dude has loads of hair on his face and head and everything else. Hopefully it'll stop trying to zoom in on, focus on everything else and start focusing actually on the model in a minute. Because there's very little to no white left on it. It's a little bit more trickier because he's actually holding the bar, the D magic energy. He's holding it in his hand. So guys, it coming from his hand. So this one's already. These models are so small. Right, now I'm going to go with some Screaming Skull. And this is going to be a proper dry brush. So dry brush it over the stone, first of all. Get all those raised edges. Now we're going to hit the lever. Let's give the lever a little once over. I'm not doing the whole thing, I'm just doing bits and pieces here and there because there isn't much raised areas on this model. Shirt can have a little slap on it as well. So it isn't quite dried, but you know what? Don't matter. There's him. Now this guy. Such an amazing piece. Just hope that I'm doing it justice. This model is an amazing model. Both of them are. Just the scale is very small for me. I'm not used to that sort of scale. Not the camera, nice one. Right now, now I'm going to go with some Lophern Blue. So just a gentle dry brush over the cloak. Just to hit some of those really raised areas. I'm not going nowhere near the bottom because as you can see the bottom's still a little bit wet. But I want to get the raised areas. Try and get the edge of it as well. So you see that little bump of his cloak there, still a little bit of the white coming through. So what we're going to do there is cover that up, get rid of that. Him. This dude. Mad cloak. I love this cloak. So these cloaks on these models are absolutely fantastic. Really can't wait to start doing playtesting videos of the new rules. The game that I'm making, the game that has no name at the moment. I did come up with a name for it, the Labyrinth of the Abyss, but upon researching, discovered that that name's already taken, so I cannot use that name, which is a pity. A bit more on this one. The hair, I'm just not so sure about the hair on them both. I don't know. Right, what I've done here is I did the Phalanx yellow just in between the orange. I actually added it to the hair a little bit because I'm not too happy with the hair on both of them. But you know, look, it is what it is. Just, I thought if they've got flames going around them like that, it's going to illuminate the hair a little bit, so it'd be a bit yellowy. I don't know. Now I've got some White Scars white here. And then the last colour dry brush. Go back to their cloaks. Just give a gentle dry brush, subtle gentle dry brush here and there, to really bring them cloaks up a little bit more. Now what I do is just give the tips of them a little bit of the white, just to lighten it up a little bit. Now I'm going to just touch a little bit on the hair, not too much, just a little bit. I've still got mint green sitting there on the wet palette that I never even touched. Give this a little touch up here and there. These two bad boys are done. Let's bring them just shot so you can see them. Yeah, I'm going to bring you guys for some pretty pictures. I'll tell you, these two are actually a bit of a challenge because they're of the scale. But I do actually like the aesthetic of the spells coming out of them. I think when they go into the dungeon game that has no name yet, and you have monsters and everything else around them, it's going to look fantastic. Some people are going to say, why has the game got no name? I came up with a name for it, the Labyrinth of the Abyss, and I actually was researching and actually found out that someone else already has that name for a computer game, so I can't use it. It's all trademarked and everything, which is a pity. But so back to the drawing board on the name, I'm afraid, and I can't even ask you guys for help because in order for me to ask you guys, I need to explain what the game is, how the game works and everything else. And as soon as I do that, where the game isn't trademarked yet, as soon as I do that, someone else can then come in and go, oh, let me do that, and get ahead of me on that. So I have to be cautious and careful, and but I will come up with a name for it, and it will be called a name. For the minute, it's just the game with no name. But guys, I hope you liked this video. I'll show you some pretty pictures in a second. So please like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.